It depends. Very good afternoon to you. Yes, I was up in Ayrshire at the weekend and there were certainly snowdrops there, and if they're growing there, well, I'm sure they're growing in many other parts of the British Isles. Now, as an average, these are the sort of temperatures you can expect at this time of year. 5 degrees or so in Lerwick, 9 in Plymouth, top of the shop. Well, not today, not by a long chalk, because Plymouth there, 11 degrees, doing very nicely, certainly. But look at this, 12, 13, 14, widely available across the British Isles, and those are the sort of temperatures you can work on if you're out and about this afternoon. And we're not alone by any means, because as you see here, both in the Netherlands and up in Latvia, the temperatures are well above the seasonal average, and it looks as though that trend is set to continue as well, because the nighttime temperatures show that there's very little frost to be had across the northern and western parts of Europe over the next few days. And look at this, by day, temperatures in Moscow rocketing away to a steamy 4 degrees, even if it does mean it's going to be a wee bit cloudier there. The reason for this is that we're picking up mild airs from the Atlantic and shoving them not only across the British Isles, but into Scandinavia, across the north of Germany, through Denmark, and as I say, right up into the Baltic states as well. Notice this swirl here of wind close to the British Isles on Wednesday. More on that in just a second. Moist airs flooding in from the Atlantic, and that means that we're seeing fronts marching their way towards the British Isles. We've got one close by at the moment. That swirl that I was talking about, well, this in essence is Wednesday's weather already brewing up in the Atlantic. So as you can well imagine, things are likely to stay pretty unsettled across most areas in the next few days. Temperatures above the seasonal average until the second half of the week, when I think we're going to see something slightly colder getting into many parts of Scotland by that stage. One swirl near us already, that area of low pressure with its attendant front, boosting the cloud across many western areas. Pretty windy here too. Bits and pieces of rain rather than anything more organised. A hint of brightness for East Anglia in the southeast, and perhaps something slightly brighter into Northern Ireland and parts of Scotland too. Now, overnight, we'll drag that front across the British Isles. It'll still be down in the southeast and across East Anglia at the end of the night, but with all the wind around and some of that cloud too, well, a frost-free night, another trend for the first half of the week. Then on Tuesday, well, something of a lull between the two areas of low pressure. So we're going to see a fair amount of shower activity running into the west, the showers merging across Scotland in those gale force winds, and it will be particularly windy across the central parts of Scotland. Could see gusts around to around about 65 miles an hour, but again, it will be mild. Then on to Wednesday.